In this video, I'm going to show you how to sign up for the Amazon affiliate program, or sometimes it's called Amazon Associates. Now, like I said, you do need to sign up for each country individually, but they're all incredibly similar. So it is easier to sit there and just do it all in one go, especially if you're going to sign up for programs in countries where English is not the first language. The sign up will be in another language, and it really is easy just to go, to get like Google to translate it for you or whatever. But it's even easier if you've just filled it in a couple of times on the English countries, because they're all pretty much the same, especially within Europe. So the UK one is incredibly similar to the ones in continental Europe. But yeah, they all ask the same things pretty much. It really just mainly varies with tax information. So we're here, let's join up for free. And you'll need to create your Amazon account. So you'll need to start obviously with your name, email and password, and then you'll get asked some more questions. So I'm just going to fill that in and I'll see you on the next screen. Okay, so your next step is to fill in your name. So this is the name that will be on the check if it's emailed to you. So you might want to get that right, mailed to you, I should say, and then your address. And you need to say if you are a US person. So mostly you only have to worry about tax details in whatever country it is, but US people will need to fill in, you will need to worry about it a bit more across all their sites. So fill that in and then we'll do the next screen. So the next step is to fill in all the websites where you are going to promote it. So if you've just got one blog, obviously this is easy, you just write in the blog. If you've got more, you can fill in other ones and you can add up to 50. So now you need to fill in your preferred associate's ID, or it's also called a tracking ID. And this is what will be added to all your links when you go create them later. Now you can create more once you're in there, so it doesn't really matter that much. I usually have at least one per website. So they use different ones for different websites so you can track better what's happening. So it makes somewhat sense too to put an associate ID similar to your website name, and it may change it for you if it already exists. So you also need to write, what your website and mobile app is about, your primary topics or secondary topics. So you just have to pick whatever's most relevant, and you can keep filling in all of that. Where does your traffic come from? Whatever the case is of where it comes. For a lot of us, it might be from blogs or from SEO or social networks, whatever it is. And then you just need to keep filling in all of these. So there's nothing to worry about here, just fill in the truth. It should be straightforward. And then at the end, you need to agree to the terms and conditions of the program. Now, I do recommend you open the program and you read it and you try and understand it as much as possible, because people do get kicked out if they don't follow the terms and conditions. And when they manually review your website, that's what they'll be looking for. So if you're not following them, you can be in trouble. So it's things like making sure you have a disclaimer, not mentioning, not copying any text from the website, or you're not even allowed to have a price of what they cost currently on Amazon, unless it's updated live to make sure it's all correct. So there's some good stuff in there to make sure that you understand. Okay, so I've just finished signing up for my husband, actually. Obviously not my name. And there you are, that's your associate ID. It says it's all done. Now you have the choice whether to go enter your payment and tax information, or you can do that later. There is no rush to do that. Obviously, it will need to be done before you get paid. But even if your links start going awesome today, Amazon pays you 2 months at the end of the month. So I'm filming this in May. So for May, you wouldn't actually get paid until like the end of July. So you do have a little bit of time there. You might just want to get stuck in using it. But let's take a look at the payment and tax information now. Okay, so you do need to edit it. Like if I wanted it to work next month, it needs to be done this month. It doesn't just come in automatically. So just be aware of that whenever you're changing it. So you can get paid by check or direct deposit. So this is Amazon AU. So if you're not an Australian at the moment, you're probably going to be stuck with paying by check. But otherwise, you can come in here, put in Australia, put your bank account details, all things that you would be used to knowing if you're Australian. So we'll just skip that for the moment. And come in here. Now you can also change what your minimum payment amount is. So that can be useful, especially if you're getting paid by check, because you're probably getting a fee on it. Checks can be a bit nasty. It's very old fashioned of Amazon. They should move on. So you might want to, put a higher amount on that. So let's look at the tax information. Okay, so you'll have to fill in whether you're an individual or a business. That'll depend on your tax setup. Your legal name, your address, country of tax residence. Now, since I've only filled this in for Australia, I can only comment on that. It's very straightforward. If you click other country, you've got some different things to fill in, but it should still be straightforward. You can fill in what type of services. It can be confusing when you're doing this, but my advice is not to overthink it and just fill it in. Okay, it's got me this far with Amazon. Like for Australians, we have to say if we're GST registered and all of that. So if you fill that in, then your tax is all done, and that is one more step completed. So within these settings, you can go add tracking IDs, and I'll go over that in the next video. If you ever add websites or remove websites using links on, you can change that. You can change any of your information, your payment information, any of that. So this is your first stop shop when you're looking for what you can do.